Run screaming with something over your head? First Local's Callum McIntosh says that's how many of us would greet a bat, but not Stratford's own Batman.
Well, I couldn't help from referring to Jeff Phillips as our own Batman. He doesn't crusade against crime, but he does look after home invaders of another sort. Through a provincial grant program, Phillips launched his summer company called Humane Bat Control.
All the work is done from the outside. We don't need to go in the attic unless it's been a big problem for a long time, in which case we may need to look around to see if there are large piles of bat droppings. So we may need to take those out because they can cause respiratory disease.
Catching bats may not sound like an ideal business idea for many, but for Jeff, it's the perfect summer job, and this area is the ideal place to set up shop.
This area here is known as the Bat Belt. Stratford, St. Mary's, a lot of old growth forests, a lot of open water areas that the bats love. They swoop down at night. You may see them over top of the rivers and streams catching bugs. They just love this area, and there's a perfect market here for it.
Calls for bat control are at their peak now, with newborns looking for a new home, mating season causing males to be quite hormonal, and females trying to get away.
Homes are pretty well open to bats. Brick homes and stone homes especially. They don't need much of a space to get in, about 6 millimeters, about the size of a dime, they're saying. As long as a bat can get their head in, they can maneuver their body through.
Most of the bat removal process is done from the outside. Phillips would look around for bat droppings. That usually indicates where the bat's entrance is.
The humane part of Humane Bat Control is we don't really deal with them hands-on. What we do is we use a one-way door system that actually locks them out. It allows them to leave as usual to feed at night, and when they come back they can't get back in. And that basically stops them from, getting locked in, dying, and there's no use of any types of pesticides, anything like that that's going to harm the animal.
Quite often, where there's one bat, there's a colony, and attics are the best place to find colonies. The unused, insulated space is a great home and allows the bats to move inside the walls. The bats are hard to spot, and you may only see droppings.
I went to a home just the other night where in a 10-minute span I counted 40 coming out. And that colony actually just moved in within 2 weeks because they didn't have a problem before that. There were no droppings, and within 2 weeks there were literally a pile of droppings in their window well, which indicated where they were going in. So I knew there was a large colony there. But generally they double in size every year, these populations. If you start out with 2 bats, the next year you're going to have 4 because they give birth to 1 or 2 pups each year. So, this colony can really grow in size. In 10 years, and they do live for over 10 years, you can have literally hundreds of bats in your attic, which started out as just a pair.
Now, while you may not appreciate having a bat in your home, they are useful. They are environmentally protected and are nature's answer to bug repellent. They eat up to 600 insects in 1 hour. For First Local in Stratford, I'm Callum McIntosh.